I originally got into digital marketing back in the UK. I was working for one of the largest travel companies back then at the time. So I was starting out as a junior, just looking at data, looking at analysing where people go on holidays in Europe. So I was able to kind of start off at a very small level, and then kind of like learn the ropes, see what was happening, and work both like in-house, so kind of understand what happens behind the scenes, what happens with businesses, and understand like the challenges which are inside that. And then we were also working with like large other agencies in London that could help support us and help support our business to grow. Again, working in the UK, working with like travel, that was a big interest of mine. And then I was always kind of good with maths and looking at data. I got experience there for about 4 years, and then after that, myself and a friend decided to set up our own agency just as a bedroom project, just to see what would work. And because we knew the industry quite well for travel, we then were able to get some travel clients on board quite soon. And then from there, it then grew to some other clients in Brighton as well as London. And then within a year or two, we then had to like actually have an office and start having a team. So it was a case of what we thought was just going to be a shot, and maybe hit and miss. We were actually quite successful, and we were able to understand the challenges, which I think is really important for businesses, and then help them to get their targets and to grow and be successful. One is kind of Perna Viji, she's like a PPC specialist for Microsoft. I had the fortune of meeting her in Sydney about a year ago, and she kind of spoke to me about how to like build businesses as well as like leverage off big brands internationally. And she also helped me to then speak at other conferences, events in Adelaide as well as Sydney. So again, I followed her for a long time, and it was really amazing to actually get to meet her, and she was so kind and helpful. So I think that's really important to kind of like look out for people who are, really big influences in their field, because a lot of time they actually do have the time to help other people to get connected, and they can help you to get to where you want to be. I think the case that every day is slightly different, and the fact that you can understand, like, be part of a bigger journey for your clients, for the brand. So whilst each client will have different challenges, it's a case of being there at the ideation part, being there from like looking at problem solving from different angles, as well as not just looking at one piece of the puzzle, like saying, well, these things might work, but again, when you put them all together in a wider team with clients on board, then you can really test new ideas. So really seeing it go from an ideation part to then launch, and then optimizing, as well as then having campaign analysis. So kind of being a part of that beginning and end piece, as well as seeing what worked and what could we do differently. Digital marketing really kind of it covers so many areas, so many different people can look at that in different ways. And I think what's really important is to, again, everyone learns differently. So whether that's from podcasts, whether that's from YouTube videos or reading books, again, try to digest as much information, but actually also then, once you have that knowledge, try to build something, try to do something with that information rather than just store it in your mind. I think it's important to try to test the knowledge you found. So I use a mixture of reading books, doing podcasts, and again going to other meetup events like here to kind of like find out what's new and what ideas can I take back to the agency and get different results. So test as many different things you can. We all learn differently, and then do online courses when you're ready and when you feel confident to see what area you want to go into, because digital marketing is a very wide umbrella of skill sets to have.